Whenever Kevin Costner walked onto a movie set, people noticed. With his calm voice, strong presence and quiet charm, he became one of Hollywood's biggest stars. But behind the fame, the awards and the big houses, he was hiding a deep heartbreak. Now at 68 and newly divorced, Kevin is finally speaking out. What he said has surprised fans and even shocked people in Hollywood. He's talking about the one woman he never stopped loving. It's not who most people thought. And this isn't just a love story. It's a story of regret, timing, and what might have been. So who was she? And why is Kevin talking now? Stay with us because his confession will leave you speechless. Kevin Costner rise to fame. From the very beginning, Kevin Costner's life was different from the world of movies and fame. He wasn't born into money or Hollywood. He was born on January 18, 1955 in Linwood, California. He was the youngest of 3 boys. His dad, William Costner, worked as an actor and his mom, Sharon, stayed home to raise the kids. They didn't have much but they had love. As a child, Kevin moved a lot. His family didn't stay in one place for too long. He lived in small towns like Compton and Ventura. It wasn't easy. He wasn't the biggest or the fastest. He wasn't a star student or a sports hero. But he had something inside, something quiet. He liked to be alone, to write, to think. Sometimes he wrote poems. Sometimes he just dreamed. And those quiet dreams, they were only just beginning. Stay with us because what came next would surprise you. Kevin Costner went to California State University in Fullerton and studied business. It was a smart choice but not the one his heart wanted. He knew he didn't love numbers. What he really wanted was to tell stories. He didn't say it out loud but he wanted to act. He wanted to feel something real. He wanted to show people something true. After college he took a small plane ride that changed his life. Sitting next to him was a man who worked in movies. Kevin told him he wanted to act. The man gave him simple advice that he should venture into acting. But something stood in the way for Kevin. He had no money, no famous friends, no one helping him. He worked many jobs on fishing boats, driving trucks, giving tours at movie studios. At night he went to acting classes. He wasn't famous, not even close. Sometimes he played small parts that never made it to the screen. People didn't know his name. Still he didn't stop. Something inside kept him going. Then came a small part in a movie called The Big Chill. Kevin played a dead friend. His face didn't even show in the final version, but something good happened. The director remembered him and later he called Kevin back for something bigger. In 1985, Kevin got a real chance. The movie was Silverado. He played a wild cowboy full of charm and fire. People noticed. He was fun to watch. That's when Hollywood started to look his way. But it did not end there. In 1987, a movie titled The Untouchables was released and Kevin played Elliot Ness, a strong, honest man who fought crime. He acted next to big stars like Sean Connery and Robert Duvall, but Kevin held his own. Many people liked him because he was calm, steady, and real. Next came Bull Durham in 1988 and Field of Dreams in 1989. Both were big hits but more than that they showed who Kevin really was. In Field of Dreams he played a man who heard a voice in his cornfield. If you build it, he will come. It sounded crazy but it was full of hope. People loved it. They saw something honest in him, something strong and kind. And then in 1990 came his biggest risk, Dances with Wolves. Kevin didn't just act in it. He directed it too. Many people said it would fail. It was long. It was quiet. It was about Native Americans told with care and respect. But Kevin believed in it. He gave everything he had. The movie became a huge success. It won 7 Oscars including Best Director and Best Picture. Kevin had made it. He was now one of Hollywood's biggest names. But more important than the awards was the feeling behind it all. Kevin had followed his heart. He had trusted the quiet voice inside. He wasn't just a movie star. He was still the same boy from small towns. The boy who liked stories. The boy who sat by the water and dreamed. And that boy had made it all the way. But when it came to his love life, it was a different story altogether. Kevin Costner, the man behind the legend. So like we said earlier on screen, Kevin Costner has played everything from a cowboy and a bodyguard to a baseball dreamer. For nearly 40 years, Kevin Costner has played the kind of man people look up to. Tough, noble, quietly heroic. But that's the version we see in movies. The real story is more complicated because behind the fame, behind the stoic roles and the golden statues is a man who spent decades trying to make sense of love, loss, and what it means to really be there for someone. And to understand that story we need to go back not to Hollywood, but to a college campus in California. That's where it all started with a girl named Cindy Silva. So stay tuned till the end of the video to get the full gist. It all started 1975. Costner wasn't famous yet. He wasn't rich. He was just a young man with a dream and a crush. Cindy was smart, kind, and beautiful. The kind of woman who made Kevin want to be better. Kelvin loved Cindy so much that he once said that she was everything he liked in women, and he was so proud when she decided to go out with him. They got married in 1978. It wasn't easy. While Kevin Costner chased acting gigs, Cindy worked to keep them afloat. She believed in him even when Hollywood didn't. For years, it was just the two of them against the world. And then the world started paying attention with hits like The Untouchables, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams. One hit after another. Kevin Costner became a household name. And with that fame came temptation. The pressure of fame didn't just change his life, it tested his marriage. Rumors began to spread everywhere that the man who once held Cindy close now found himself drifting away. So in 1994, after 16 years and 3 kids, their marriage ended. The settlement that Cindy got was $80 million. But when you checked the emotional cost, it was harder to measure. Costner later admitted that his faith was shaken. He wasn't just talking about marriage. He was talking about himself. He had built this image of the American hero and then watched his personal life fall apart behind the scenes. His kids, Annie, Lily, and Joe, were the ones caught in the middle. To him, that was a huge loss. After Kevin Costner and his first wife, Cindy Silva, got divorced, things started falling apart for him. He wasn't just heartbroken, he was lost. His career was struggling and his personal life was all over the place. In the mid-90s, Kevin dated a few women, but none of the relationships lasted. It felt like he didn't want to open his heart again. Not after what he went through with Cindy. Then came Bridget Rooney. Their relationship didn't last long, but it led to the birth of his son Liam in 1996. Now you may be thinking having another child might help Kevin settle down, but it didn't. People close to him said Kevin Costner seemed unsure of who he was. On screen he played strong romantic heroes. But off-screen he was a man trying to figure himself out. Even his colleague Ben Affleck once said he and Matt Damon weren't sure if Kevin remembered working with them on Field of Dreams. A small remark, but one that quietly raised concern. And then out of nowhere came Ella McPherson, a world-famous supermodel. They started dating in 1996 and it moved fast. Within months they were living together. Kevin even said she was his equal, beautiful, smart, and kind. But by the end of the year it was over. Just like that. Friends said he never stopped thinking about Cindy. Even though their marriage ended badly, he still missed the simple, honest love they had when the residential were young and struggling together. He couldn't seem to find that feeling again. At the same time, his movies weren't doing well. Waterworld was a huge flop. The Postman did even worse. Kevin Costner, the man who once ruled Hollywood, was now slipping. And with no solid home life to fall back on, it showed. His world, both personal and professional, was falling apart. But then something surprising happened. In 1998, Kevin met Christine Baumgartner. She was a model and a handbag designer 20 years younger than him. And this time it felt different. Kevin looked happy again, like maybe he finally saw a future with someone. Still, things weren't perfect. They dated for 4 years. But in 2002 they broke up. What? In 2004 they got married at Kevin's big ranch in Aspen, Colorado. They had 3 children together, Caden, Hayes, and Grace. For nearly 20 years, it looked like Kevin had finally found peace. He often praised Christine in interviews, calling her his true partner. But even with all that love at home, trouble was still there. Kevin's acting career had made a comeback with Yellowstone, and he was busy working on his dream movie project, Horizon. Suddenly he was being pulled in 2 directions again, work and family. The same problem that ended his first marriage was starting to show up again because for Kevin, love and success were always connected. When one started to fall apart, the other usually followed. So in May 2023, fans were shocked that after 18 years of marriage, Christine Baumgartner filed for divorce from Kevin Costner. The divorce quickly became messy and very public. They argued over houses, money, and who would care for the kids. It was all over the news, and many were shocked to see one of Hollywood's most private couples go through something so painful in front of the world. People close to them said the main problem was time. Costner had been working non-stop. Between his hit show Yellowstone and his big movie project Horizon, he was often away from home, and eventually that created too much space between them. Costner didn't want the divorce. Those who knew him said he was heartbroken and would have done anything to make things work. When he finally spoke about it, he didn't say much, but it was clear that it hurt. Later that year, while promoting Horizon, people noticed he wasn't quite the same. He still smiled, still looked calm, but there was something different. He seemed quieter, more thoughtful. In interviews, he talked more openly than usual about how hard it is to chase your dreams and still be the kind of parent and partner you want to be. He focused on his kids, trying to stay strong for them. He said he had no choice. He just had to keep going, keep showing up, and keep listening to them. But then came something no one saw coming. During this time, while still dealing with the breakup, Costner shared something unexpected about how heartbroken he was. It was small, quiet, but it changed how people saw him. So what did he say? Let's find out. A man trying to heal after love was lost. When people heard that Kevin was heartbroken over a past relationship, they began to ask questions. Who was he talking about? Some assumed it had to be Cindy, thinking of the old saying, first love never dies. But in Kevin's case, it wasn't his first love. It was his marriage to Christine. You see, this marriage was different. For 20 years, Kevin was married to Christine Baumgartner. They built a quiet, steady life together, far from the noise of Hollywood. They raised children, made memories, and created a home filled with laughter and routine. Kevin often said that being a family man meant more to him than fame ever could. So, this was a relationship he never wanted to slip away. So, when Christine asked Kevin Costner for a divorce in 2023, it was as if Kevin's world came to a sudden halt. Everything he had worked so hard for seemed to be slipping away. The shocking part was that there had been no public fights, no clear signs that trouble was brewing. To many, it appeared out of nowhere. Kevin was left shocked, hurt, and confused. One moment he had a partner. The next he was facing life alone. So, like I said earlier, the divorce wasn't messy because Kevin wanted the money or the cars. It was messy because he didn't want to let go. The life they had built together, the years of love and memories, the family they had created, letting go of all that felt impossible to him.